Hello, everybody. Uh, welcome back, welcome back. It is AJ, wild, your average fan here. I am sorry if you caught the Cubs logos. I was recording a Cubs video earlier, forgot to shut off the overlay, but hey, we are here. Welcome in, welcome in. So we have uh, some divisional football today. I am a little bit behind the eight ball. Tried to get this going earlier today. I was supposed to do it with uh, my brother, and did not get a chance to. We did not get the chance to get together this morning to do our live stream, so I'll be doing it solo. We are going to look at the divisional round. I'm going to make my picks for that. Uh, Wait, quick. I'm just trying to. All right. So, uh, so yeah, really quick before I get into the divisional games that we have going on today and tomorrow. I had done the video for the wild card round. Also, I did not do my post wild card round reactions. I wound up getting sick for the now second time in about a month. As you could probably hear, I'm still a little bit nasally, but we'll just kind of recap these games real quick. I'm looking at the scores here. The Bills and the Broncos. Bills 131-7. I definitely did not have the Broncos beating the Bills on that one. I knew that the Bills probably going to take care of business there. Baltimore over the Steelers 28-14. Again, when you have somebody like Derrick Henry on your team, I pretty much figured that they were going to take care of business there. I didn't really see the Steelers taking that game either. The only game that I definitely had my pick completely wrong on was the Texans Chargers game. Texans absolutely dominated 32-12. I was really hoping that the Chargers would take care of business and move on. Although obviously with the Texans being the home team for that one, that did not happen. So yeah, the Texans beat the Chargers 32-12. On the NFC side of things, the Eagles took care of the Packers 22-10. I definitely saw that one coming. I didn't really think that the Packers were going to have a chance in Philadelphia. I didn't see that happening. I can't remember how I called the Rams Vikings game. I do remember that I thought that that was going to be in a field goal. I thought that that game was going to be separated by a field goal, and the Rams absolutely put belt to ass against the Vikings. And then the Commanders Buccaneers. I really had Tampa Bay winning that game. But again, I believe I was right on my spread call. I had that game at a field goal. It just went in favor of the Commanders. Now, for today's games, we have the number one Chiefs playing the Texans uh, in Kansas City. I'm pretty sure that Kansas City will take care of the Texans. And then later today, we had the Lions, number one seeded Lions over the number six Commanders in Detroit. With Detroit being at home, I think that the Lions will probably put some pretty good belt to ass there. I think that the Lions are just a stacked team depth wise. They had a lot of issues with injuries, and they proved time and time again that injuries just won't really affect them at all. They just steamrolled everybody. So I think that the Lions will definitely take care of the Commanders. But right now, obviously, there is the Chiefs Texans game going on, and I believe, look up the score here. They are currently up over Houston 6-3 with 13 minutes left in the half. So yeah, let's just kind of talk about what's gonna be the story here. I think that you know with I think that with where how the division round looks, Bills Ravens. I think that Josh Allen might have something to say for that game, given that it is in Buffalo. But then again, Baltimore has Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, so there's a pretty strong case there that Baltimore actually stands a chance. And then on the NFC side, you got the Eagles versus the Rams again in Philadelphia. I would like to think that the way that the Rams played against the Vikings, that they might have a stronger case now against Philadelphia. But at the same time, I'm not 100% sure about that because, Philadelphia's got Saquon Barkley who runs for like on average of 140 yards per game. So just in the run game alone, Saquon Barkley can definitely put some points on the board and help Philadelphia out. But again, the way that the Rams showed up against the Vikings, who were 14-3. I'm really surprised at the way that the Rams kicked it up once the postseason started. So I'm not really sure how to call that Rams Eagles game. I think that if the Rams play like they did against the Vikings, that Rams Eagles game could actually be pretty close. I feel like that game could be separated by a score, maybe less, maybe 3 points. But again, with the Eagles having home field advantage for that game tomorrow, that could definitely play into Philadelphia's favor, like it did against Green Bay. But then again, Eagles were also the number 2 seed, Packers the number 7 seed. So, again, with the Eagles having home field advantage, I feel like that could help them out quite a bit. Um, so yeah, just kind of waiting to see how this Chiefs Texans game, flushes out. Uh, we'll see if I could get. Let's see here. See if I could get the game pulled up here. But yeah, I think that again, I think that this divisional round is a little bit more stacked than it was last year at this time. Uh, I think that last year's divisional round, it was kind of obvious who was going to move on to the AFC and the NFC championship games. I think that this round could be quite a bit closer in determining who will make it to the AFC and NFC championships. Again, you know, the way that Josh Allen and the Bills have played versus number 3 Baltimore with you know Derrick Henry and their quarterback. I think that that's going to be a really really good game to watch tomorrow. I think that should be a close game. I think that if it was in Baltimore, Baltimore might have a chance to kind of run away with it. But uh, being in Buffalo, I think that really helps the Bills having that home field there. And kind of the same thing with Eagles Rams. I think that if maybe the Rams were at home for that game, that could be a lot more of an interesting game to watch. I think that just with the way that the Eagles played and the way that they showed up against the Packers, and really, even though the score didn't show it, they really kind of dominated that game. Uh, the first half, neither one of those teams really were scoring a whole lot, and then the Eagles just kind of took off in that second half. So, being in Philadelphia, that'll definitely help out the Eagles. The Lions Commanders, the Commanders started off really strong at the beginning of the year. They got a couple losses there in the second half, so they fell to the number 6 seed. But Jaden Daniels is playing really, really well. Jaden Daniels is playing really, really well with the roster that he has around him with Cliff Kingsbury and everything that they're doing. But again, the Lions, man, just them being that they just dominated everybody this year. So I think the only game that could end up being an utter blowout would probably be this Lions Commanders game. Especially because it's in Detroit. I think Detroit can win that game in a pretty dominating fashion. And then Again, we take a look at this Chiefs Texans game. I think that the Chiefs being in at home will probably help them with this game, but you cannot count out C.J. Stroud and those Texans. I mean, they play really solid, consistent ball. They did that like all year, and I think that the way in which they beat the Chargers in that wild card round really showed that now that the playoffs have started that they will kick it up a couple of notches. And when I was talking to my dad and my brother about how I expect the playoffs to go down, I said that if anybody's going to get in uh, Kansas City's way of that AFC Championship game, uh, or the Super Bowl, I'm sorry, stopping them from going to the Super Bowl, would either be uh, Buffalo at number two or Houston at number four. I mean, maybe you could say that the Ravens could get in there, but I think that the way in which Buffalo beat Kansas City in what week 15 or 16, whenever they played each other at the end of the year, 16 or 17. I think that Buffalo probably has the best chance of moving on to the Super Bowl if the Chiefs don't go there to try to three-peat. But um, just a little bit of a shorter live today. I just wanted to get on here and just recap what I had said about the wild card round. I wanted to get on here and just talk about what I thought would happen with this divisional round. So if you catch this after the live ends, which will be just in a couple minutes here, just leave your comments below. Let me know who you think will move on to the AFC and NFC championship rounds. So if I'm gonna make my picks right here to go to the AFC and NFC championship, uh, I think that I think that we will see on the NFC side. I think that it would be Lions versus the Eagles in the NFC championship, and then for the AFC championship, I'm going to put the Chiefs up against the Bills. So basically, I'm picking all the home field advantage teams to win in this divisional round. I think that I think that home field advantage is actually quite big for this divisional round because if you look at the wild card round, all the home field teams are who won outside of the Commanders. They were the only team that was not the home field team to win. So I think that we'll see pretty much uh, that that same story here in the divisional. So I'm gonna go uh, Bills over the Ravens, Chiefs over the Texans, Eagles over the Rams, and Lions over the Commanders. Like I said, I think that the Lions and Commanders is going to be a blowout. That should probably be a 2 to 3 score plus win. If I'm going Eagles Rams, I think that that game could be closer. Just again because of the way that the Rams showed up against the Vikings. So I think that that game might be separated by a score or less. I think that this Chiefs Texans game, I think that still come down to a field goal, just because of the way that the Texans have been playing, even though the Chiefs have that home field advantage. And then the Bills Ravens, I will go. I will go and say the same thing. I think that that game will be a score or less. I think that Josh Allen will probably lead a game-winning drive at the end of that one. So we'll see what happens there. So again, AFC Championship, Bills versus Chiefs, and then the NFC Eagles versus the Lions. So those are my picks for the divisional round. My friends, leave me a comment down below. Let me know who you think will move on to the NFC Championship round. And then we will see you guys later for the recaps. Y'all take care.